Okay. We are live on YouTube.
Okay.
All right, so we are live on YouTube. Let me go back here.
Okay.
All right, guys. So I have Fidel with us now. Fidel is in Thailand, so I really appreciate the time. It's like 12 hours difference. That's why we're having the CLUBE VOI tonight. I'm so late, but it's gonna be worth it because he's gonna be explaining to us and doing like a tutorial about the Bqool, which the repricer that I use in the past, and I'm using now, and it's for me. I mean, I was just telling him my buy box percentage went from, I don't know, 4.5 to 14 this week. You know, so it's actually doing the job in my account, and I already have a lot of people on the CLUBE VOI, and even a lot of people that I know that sell like a lot on Amazon using the repricer. So that's why I decided to bring him to, you know, explain to us and teach us how to use the tool correctly. So Fidel, thank you so much for your time being here with us. We're gonna have a lot of people here. I'm also broadcasting live on my YouTube channel. It's gonna be recorded, right? It's gonna be like on my YouTube. Just because I usually don't do that, because this is like a closed call for members. But I'm just doing that because I know the importance of, you know, the information you're gonna provide to us. So I wanna reach as much people as I can with that. So again, thank you so much. I want you to introduce yourself, you know, tell a little bit about you, about the tool, and just show us the amazing tool. Just show us Bqool.
Okay, thank you, Gustavo. Thank you for inviting us to your channel. We are glad to be here today and then go through our tool. And about me, as you mentioned, I work for, I am part of the Bqool team for the Americas.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And yeah, and then we are part of the team here. And I am from El Salvador, so you guys, if you guys speak Spanish and you want to speak Spanish, feel free to ask any questions in Spanish. So yes, as you mentioned, our tool have been in the market for a few years already, and then through the years we are working on adapting, and as Gustavo said, the changes that we have made in the last 2 years, that since he came and now after he used it again, is a lot. So the idea is to bring a tool that is gonna be helpful, that is gonna achieve the result that you are looking for while selling on Amazon. And as Gustavo mentioned previously in another meeting, that nowadays using a repricer is a must if you really want to compete in the market, because it has everybody's using one. And but today we are gonna focus on our main features, and then why, and so you guys can compare and then can see if the tool is something that will be helpful for you. Since our tool has different functions, and then I won't be going into many details, but I will just give you a brief explanation of the options that you will have. And before I start, just remember that if you want to try our tool, Gustavo can provide a link on your 2 channels or any on his social media where you can try our tool for 30 days for free. So that's a benefit by using his link, and then by using it, you can have 30 days, and then you can test it and see the different options that I will be explaining in a few minutes. So if there are any questions, don't forget that you can ask me. You can turn on your microphone, or you can test us the question. If you guys feel free to do it in Portuguese, you can do it, and Gustavo can help me in case I don't understand completely the question.
Yeah, tonight we can do the questions in English and Spanish. So I don't try Spanish. My Spanish is terrible. But, you know, if someone is more comfortable speaking Spanish, you know, and you have any questions, you can ask in Spanish. It's fine.
Exactly. So Okay, so let's start. So as Bqool, we offer 3 options when it comes to repricing, and those are the ones that you see right now on the screen. I think you guys can see it, right?
Yes.
So, for example, the first one is the AI. The second one is the rule-based, and the third one is the conditional. So, what is the main difference between these 3? So, first of all, we all started, or you guys know, most of the repricer are the one in the middle. Rule-based that here is mostly you setting up different settings, like choosing different options, and it's a bit complex because it has different options, like so many things to choose from. And then now we know that the AI is one of the main things that is changing the business world. So that's why we incorporate the AI option. So in this case, with the AI, what is the main purpose, or how does it help you, is to let you free, basically, to give you to give you the freedom of not being on your computer all the time trying to use a repricer, because this one is more dynamic. This one adapts itself to the market easily with the different algorithm. So that's the way it performs, and it's faster and it is more efficient. And most of our customers, they prefer AI because later on we were gonna be looking at the details, and then you will see all these scenarios that the AI provides. And based on those scenarios, it gives you options. Like, you don't have to create your own options. Most of them options are here. So you can just play with the options we give you, because we provide all the scenarios, all the things that may happen when you are selling on Amazon. So that way you can predict based on your listings, based on those items that you sell. If you have been selling on Amazon for a while, you may have a very clear idea how the market behaves. And based on it, you can go ahead and use the AI rules. But if you are already into using Bqool, and then you are very familiar with the AI, after being familiar with the AI and the rule base, then you want to go a little bit more in deep details about the repricer, then that's why we offer the third option. So this option is a little bit more complex because it combines the previous 2. So this option combines the previous 2, and that's what Gustavo was saying, that he used the conditional repricing to get rid of the stock that he had. So like sometimes you may be in, as you can see here, the name of the rules. Like, for example, maybe you have a stock that is been there for too long, you want to get rid of it, then you can go ahead with this one. And there are the other 5 options that we provide. And as you can see in the bottom, if you are FBA seller, then we have an advanced condition for those FBA sellers, that it will give you all the different scenarios, and then you have to choose based on your conditions. These 2 are similar. The only difference will be is FBA, and the other one is SBM. So this is the condition, the conditional repricing. I'm not gonna go into details because of timing, but I am gonna be focusing more on the AI power. So those are the options that we offer. And now, if you are an Amazon seller, another option, another thing that to consider is our plans. Like we have plans starting from $25 in case you guys don't your listing, you have a small store or you have too many listings, you can just choose from $25 all the way to $300. Depends on your market situation and also the needs that you have. So our goal is that you guys have an option that I'm not going to be paying money that you won't be using. So that's why we offer different options, so that way your money is well invested. So continuing with the AI, here there are 4 different steps. You can see in the tops and the upper side. For example, the first one, you choose the rule. The next one, how you want to get the buy box. And the third one, if you want to schedule the repricer. And the last one is basically go through it and make sure that you have done it the way you were expecting to do it. Or if you want to make any other change. So the AI, as you can see, the second option here, it targets the buy box. It's like basically you want to get the buy box, and it gives you all the options to get the buy box. That's the idea. Why? Because if you get the buy box, you know that you make more sales. So and at the end, that's our goal as Amazon sellers. So now when you see here you have 5 rules, it doesn't mean that you have just 5 options. Like you can create different rules for just, for example, AI sales maximizer. You can create 20, 30, 40, as many as you want for just AI sales maximizer. And it is the same for the others. Why this option? Maybe you have certain items that you want to apply AI sales maximizer, but there may be some settings that you wanna differentiate this product from the other. So that's why you can choose the same rule and just name it differently to use the same one.
But can you customize that, or it is what it is? So if I choose the AI sales maximizer, so there's nothing. I mean, if you click there, there's nothing internally that I would be able to change.
Yes, that we are going. There are some different things that you can change, and then we are gonna go into detail in a few minutes.
Okay.
I'm gonna explain the main difference between this one, and by just looking at the stars, you can see what is the rule focusing on. For example, the first one, we are targeting sales. You can see 5 stars against 1 star for profit. So here you will sell more with lower profit. And if like the second one, increase sales but make more profit. And the third one is equalizer, like keep the balance between sales and profit. And now if we go to the last 2, we are targeting more profit. What does it mean? The price is gonna go higher, even though it's gonna slow down the sales. So it will depend on what you guys are looking for. If you guys want to sell more and make less profit, or you wanna sell less and make more profit. So it will depend on your scenario and your particular case. So I will choose one of them. Like let's say I'm gonna go with AI sales maximizer because this one may be one that you will be using a lot. So this one, as I mentioned before, it focuses on choosing the tool that is gonna be targeting the sales. So that way you can sell more. Okay, now here what are we gonna do is like I am gonna change the name. So I choose a name that is gonna remind me what is it for. Why? Because you may be creating a different rule with the different rule using AI sales maximizer. Let's pretend that right now I am gonna be using for Gustavo's product. So I just can use Gustavo, for example, as their name. Let's see here, when I use Gustavo as the name, so that way I know what is this gonna be. What is the rule gonna be all about. So once you change the name, you adapt your name, and now if you wanna change the data here, you are also able to do it if you wanna change the reminder. So the question that Gustavo was asking is like, if there are any things that I need to choose from, or I can customize the rule. So that's the next step that we're going into it. Right now I'm using a test account, so that's why it's a bit slow, because I am not using the original one. So just for you guys to know. So here, once we jump into this step where you create the rule, just give me a few seconds because it's loading here. So here we go to how do you want to get the buy box. So that's how this one works. Like here, you can see it gives you all the scenarios. This is all the scenarios you will face in the market. So the first one, for example, if you are the only one selling on Amazon, or if you are not able, or you are not eligible to choose to fight or to get the buy box. The third one, when there is no buy box, and the fourth one, when your item is used, and the next one, when you don't have inventory. when then you're still selling, but it's out of stock and the back order. We know there are some customers that they do have the situation where they still selling the item, but they is back order. So then we also offer that one. And the last one, when your price, when when you adjust the price and this price go below the minimum, what do you want to do? So before moving forward, I want to mention, guys, that sometimes we may worry that AI will change our prices in a way that it is gonna go below our minimum or over our maximum. So as Bqool, we have the safety net that in this case, our repricer will never reprice below the minimum or up the maximum. So what does it mean? That all the changes that we are gonna be making or the repricer will be making are gonna be in between the maximum and minimum that you chose when you upload your data to Bqool. So that's why it's very important to make sure that your minimum and maximum are correct, because Bqool is going to reprice based on those limitations. Let's see. Just give me a second right now. Just give me a second right now because my computer logged out. So yeah, so that's so for example, here, as you can see in the first one, the first option that we have, when you are the only seller. So here, what do you want to do? We give you the scenarios, okay? We give you the scenarios, like for example, you want to use the max price, or you don't want to reprice, or you want to customize your price. What does it mean? That you want to choose a different pricing. So we give you the scenarios, like if you are the only seller, you may decide not to reprice because you are the only one. So, but you may think, okay, you know, I wanna change the price. So let's see, I wanna customize my price. So what do you wanna use? As you can see, we give you the options, like you wanna use the minimum, the maximum, your price, or your fixed price. Once you choose one of them, then you can do here, like you can add, if you wanna, for example, if I had the minimum, I wanna add maybe 1 cent. Or I want to add 10%.
Let's suppose that, let's say if I'm the only seller, I want to customize my price above my max. So I'm the only seller, you know, the product's good. So, and then I can put like my max price plus an additional, I don't know, 2%. And then that removes the buy box. The buy box becomes suppressed, and then it goes to the other rule, and then it goes when the buy box is suppressed, and then we readjust the price. That's what's going to happen.
Okay, in this case, because if you are the only seller, as I mentioned previously, these rules won't go over your max price. So that's one of the things, but that's why we have the conditional repricing. There, you can change your min and max.
No, but the customized price. So if you click on minimum price, that won't give me the option to change the match. So see, if I put max price plus, I don't know, that's just minus, right?
Just minus, yeah. It doesn't give you the option because the rule doesn't reprice over your max. Now, if you want to change your max and min, then you have to use the conditional repricing where you will have these options.
Okay.
But for AI, because the AI is to make things very easy, basically, and achieve the results that you are looking for. So that's why it doesn't have the option to change those settings. So, but if you want to do it, that's why we offer conditional repricing as well.
All right, gotcha.
Now, if you want to have an idea of what is going to happen based on your settings, here in this icon, you will see examples, okay? So this icon gives you the example, how is it going to work. For example, here we can see, well, like, for example, like in this case, we use the max price. So that's how the repricer is going to perform based on this example. That's just to give you an idea how it is going to work. Now, moving forward to the second one, when you cannot get the buy box, so how do you want to compete? So here we give you all the scenarios as well. If you want to go for you don't want to reprice, you want to use the lowest price, the min price, the max price, or as again, or you want to customize your price. For example, you would say, okay, I want to customize my price and I want to compete to the one that had the buy box. So here just use the buy box, for example, and then you say, you know what, I want to be lower than him for 1 cent, for example, or higher than here for 1 cent. So then you can customize it here as well. So this is basically just a point just choosing the arrow and then choosing the option that is more suitable or that you want to perform. So we give you all the options here. So max, min, fixed price, or your price. And here again is an explanation, like for example, in this case, why you are not eligible for the buy box. So it gives you an explanation as well. So the idea is to provide you with the options, all the options that are gonna fit this situation or this scenario. Is again, let's go to the next one, when there is no buy box. So you know, sometimes when there is no buy box, some of the sellers they like to play around with the price to make sure to see if they can trigger the buy box. So here we have also those options, and we give you all the possible things that you can choose, like your price, your max price, your price, and fixed price. So those are the options. And here as well, there are examples next to it, so you guys can read through it and see how it is gonna work when you apply the rule here. And now moving forward, and then we have the conditional. When the condition is used, if you are selling something that is used already, so we give you all the scenarios as well. And at the same time, you have the customized one. Like if you don't want to use your min, your max, or or the other option, then you can customize it. And when you customize it, we give you the options already, so you can just choose and add or deduct certain amount or percentage in this case. Let's pretend that you want to sell like lower than 10% lower than the other competitors, or the lowest price in the market, or you want to higher your price, have the price higher 10% over your minimum, then you can just go ahead here as well. So at the end, it comes to your item and your ideal price. In this case, what is your ideal price? What do you want to get in this situation? Then we give you all the scenarios. Now moving forward, when it's back ordered, you know, like in this case, when you don't have in stock, maybe you want to just go for the max price, for example, to make sure you don't get too many orders right now that you don't have items, because it may cause problems in Amazon in terms of the rating. And so you want to make sure you don't get too many orders in this case. So that's why you can go for the max, or you can customize it as well. For example, you can just go for the max and maybe lower a little bit for 10 cents or $1, or depends on the item, right? So that's how this one works as well. Or you can just not reprice, or just go for the max price. Like, the idea of AI is to make things easier. So that's why you can see, like here, if I use max price, it doesn't give me the other options. But now if I want to make it more complex, I just go to customize and add other conditions. Now moving forward, when the adjust price is equal or below the mean price, when does this happen? It's basically when your price, when the algorithm, or when Bqool look for the competitors and then adjust the price, but the price goes below the minimum. Why can this happen? Maybe because your competitors have better prices than you. They are lower than you, and because we are targeting the buy box, let's pretend that your price is $12, and then your minimum is $10, but then the one that they get the buy box is $9.99, for example. So it's below your minimum. So what do you, as you remember previously, I mentioned that we are not going to go below the minimum. So what are you going to do in this case? So then, if, for example, you say, okay, you know what, I'm going to use the min price, and I'm just going to make sure that my price stay at the minimum when this happens. So that's why we or you can say, you know, I want to customize my price, and I'm going to use the buy box price, and then, or I am going to use the min price or max price. So these are very different options that we offer here for you as user to choose the one. But I mean, if it is it's below your mean, most of users will go for their mean because they want to stay there in case the price go up. So they are gonna be one of the possible next options for the buyer. So this is how we target the buy box. These are the options that we have for you to target the buy box. All the scenarios, all the configurations, all the options are here. So you just to choose. That's why the AI is more flexible. It's easier to use because it provides you all the options. And then once you create the rule, then you just run it. And here, the next step, if in case, like for example, you want to schedule your repricer. Like let's see, maybe you don't want to be changing prices between 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. in your country or your market. Then you can just do it here. So once you do it here, you just fill out the information here. And this part, for example, let's pretend that you are selling right now before 1 a.m. at $10, but now you want to stop the repricer at 1 a.m. So what price do you want to use after 1 a.m.? Then you just go here and then you say, okay, I want my new price to be max price or your price, the actual price. There are the options that you can choose as well, the price that you want to have when the repricer stop. I see Tiago, just give me a second and finish this one and you are next, okay? I see Tiago has a question over there. And then here, if you want to have, there is a brief explanation as well in this icon. Now, here is like when you start, what time do you want to start repricing again? And as you know that the reprice is gonna be triggered by the report from Amazon. So when the first report from Amazon comes in, then the reprice is gonna start changing prices. And then you can choose here, for example, you wanna take a break from Amazon or you wanna take a break from repricing or for any other reasons, then you can choose here when do you want to use this setting. Tiago, please.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Yeah, thank you very much for the lesson and everything. I have one question. It has to do actually about this specific topic that you were explaining right now. So one of the acts that many of a few at least sellers they use this feature. I haven't implemented yet the strategy, but the strategy about this is they pause their repricer from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. Eastern time in US, and they place the price during that period, 1 hour. They place the price 20% up. So what they say is, what they actually does is every other competition, all the other repricers will adjust to that 20%, which make them like this strategy makes them, you know, more, like they say, more money. I mean, they make more profitable sales, because I don't know. The thing is, I've seen this explanation. I've seen they apply this. I don't know if you ever heard about this, and like if it's possible to, you know, to use the strategy and actually have success on the other repricers, like your competition. I know probably there's variants, probably there's, you know, other components that are going to place for this to work, but the thing is, you know, it is, my question is it possible that if you do something like that, the other reprices will adjust? So because also the strategy has to do with, you know, the price it tends to go down over time, so they try to stop that to happen. So if the other the other repricers from the other from the competition adjust to the same price as this guy does, they don't, I mean, they will not see the price go down, and they will make more profit.
Yeah, to answer your question, most of the repricers, the idea is to make sure that you get the Bibles, right? So in this case, if we have this scenario where they pause the repricer to increase the price, then like the gap between you and your competitors won't be that much. So in this case, by changing your price, yes, it will trigger others to follow the trend.
Oh, that's
follow
good.
the trend. Yeah,
Okay.
once you follow the trend, then, but for example, let's pretend that you guys go up in price, but there is one that doesn't do it, then it's gonna go again backwards to compete with that one, because at the end, as a buyer on Amazon, you want to buy the cheapest one, right? So if everybody triggers to increase price by 10-20%, for example, if everybody does it, it's a safe scenario that all of you guys are gonna be at the same level in terms of pricing. But if there is one that decided not to do the same, then the price is gonna turn around and compete against this repricer or this price, because at the end there are different Amazon sellers, so there is no way to know how the others are gonna behave. So that's why using a repricer is very efficient, because it read the algorithm, it read the report from Amazon, it reads all the competitors to adjust itself. But if you don't want the price to drop, that can be a good strategy. But it also depends on your competitors if they are following the trend, Because
so, but you said,
end,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just say, but you still think it's worth to use that in terms of like trying to get them like the most out of the listing?
Yeah, I did that in the past when I was using another repricer. It worked with some listings, but did not work with others. I noticed some listings since I was taking because I mean that's a good idea, because you kind of like refresh the price. Now everybody's like competing, everybody's going down, and then suddenly if you put your price up, most of the sellers are gonna follow you, and then you start the day like fresh, like everybody fighting again. But what happened is, at least with me, a few of my listings was being deactivated because my price was too high, and then so Amazon was removing for high price, and
Okay.
so I was having to go like manually switching the price. It's actually a good idea with a good question to Fidel. So if Amazon deactivate your listing because of high price, does the AI work their magic to bring back the listing or not? We have to do that manually. I'm not talking about box suppress. I'm not talking about my box suppress. I talk about when you get a high price item that it's the listing becomes inactive.
Okay. When you use Bqool, because we don't go up the maximum, So, and then we don't go up the maximum, so it's safe in that case. But let's pretend that you have an item that is too high, because usually for when you sell on Amazon, you will see that Amazon gives you like an ideal price, right? Now, if your price is too high and then you are delisted for being in a max too high price, then you have to do in Seller Central. Because Bqool doesn't get that information. Bqool cannot access your information in terms of pricing. So that you can change the max and min in Bqool, but you cannot change the max and min on Amazon.
Yeah, that's what was happening to me, Thiago. What I recommend, so I haven't used again with Bqool, so I want to start using, but what I recommend, just do slowly, just start doing with a few items, and then if it deactivate, you just go there manually and fix the price. Because when I started doing this, so I got in the morning, some items was good, sold. I got like sold for a higher price, but a lot of item was inactive, so I had to go manually one by one and put it back. So if I do it again, which I'm gonna do it because it's a good strategy. So that's how I'm gonna do it from now on. I'm gonna do like, I don't know, 5 listings today, test it out, 10 listings tomorrow, and go from there.
Yeah, I need to give it a
Yeah.
try too. But the thing is here is like those 20%. I mean, if you set it 20% higher, it means 20% above the max price
No,
above, right?
Of your price, above your price, right?
Yeah, about your price.
Your price.
Remember that we won't go up the maximum. So that's one thing that needs to be very, you guys have to remember, not going up the max price. It's above your actual price. Let's pretend that you were selling on Amazon, you said like 4 a.m., right? So at 4 a.m. your price is $10, and then you want to increase 40%. It's gonna be $14 after that because of the 40%. So that's but if your max price is just $13, it's not gonna pass that amount. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to mention.
Yeah, yes. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for your question. So so in this part of the scheduling, the repricer. Now, if you want to schedule for a fixed time, let's pretend that this year you have these items that by 4 or 5 months later you want to change the price, you want to schedule the price because you want to sell it or because there is a special event, then you can schedule it here.
Nice.
Like for example, you choose the date when you want to do it, so you don't want to forget it, so then you just do it here, and then this feature is going to be activated once the day comes. So that's the other feature that it provides. Now, at the end, it depends on you guys. It depends on the one that is using the tool, how he or she prefers doing it. So that's very optional.
The fixed date will override the repeated schedule. So you have a repeated schedule there, and then you set up the fixed, or it's either one or the other, or another.
Yeah, one or the other. One or the other. Yeah, you use one or the other. So
okay, I see. Okay,
you use one or the other.
Yeah, you can have both.
Now if you want to have both, then you have to create another rule, the same rule with a like for example, for this one, remember I use Gustavo, then I may say Tiago, for example, and the same rule, and I just turn on the other option.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, now once you fix this part, once you do it and choose all the options, because as you can see here, it gives you all the time zone and every single detail is here. You just choose it based on your interest. Once you do it, then the next step, like after you schedule is review, and here you still have the option to go through it. If there is anything that you feel not comfortable with, you still can change it here before you save the rule. So once you finish all this setting, then you just go and save. So if everything is correct, save and finish. And once you save and finish, then the rules are gonna be already over there for you to apply it to any listings. So for example, here now, for example, I remember the name that I give it to the rule was Gustavo. So I wanna find the rule, and then it's supposed to show up here. So that way, you see, here's the rule that I just created.
Okay.
So now, if I want to add the listing, then you can just go ahead and add the listing. Now, how do you apply? Okay, this is the rule. This is the AI. So that's AI. So when you set up that part that we just passed by, you did already, then you just apply it to the listing that you want to apply it to. And the rule is gonna continue repricing or changing your price based on those settings and based on the Amazon reports and conditions and how the competitors are changing pricing. So that's very simple to set up. That's why we recommend to start with AI, because it's very simple. Like if you don't want to complicate anything, you just choose the rule and then you just click one of the options and then you next, and then that's ready to go. Okay, that's very easy to use. And now once you want to apply to your list, and then you have the option. So here, for example, once you want to, you can see here in the platform, this side, you have the rules where the ones that you want to apply, right? So here, for example, if one thing that I wanted to mention that we offer as well, if you want to apply one by one, is optional, or you want to use the bulk actions, where you can use the you choose different listings and apply the same rule to all of them, or all the settings are here. So these are very useful. And once you get into Bqool, you will see that you will be using some of these settings from bulk actions. Now, as Bqool, we recommend, and it's very important that before the repricer works or start applying the rules, you need to put your max min. Okay, these are the two very important things, and choose their rules. So those three things are very important for the repricer. Why? Because I am mentioning this. Why? Because you might be like, hey, why I cannot, my repricer is not working. The main reason may be because you didn't choose the min or you didn't choose the max, because those are our limitations.
Okay.
When it comes to reprise. So that's why it's very important. So these three options, please, you use Bqool or you want to use Bqool, don't forget to input the information. So that is, and then you will have a lot of options here. And these all the options for you to analyze your store, to analyze your listing, to see your competitors, to see your pricing, the change of prices for the last few hours, few days, everything is here. So by taking the time and going one by one, you will see all the information. Now, if any one of you wants to know into details how all these settings work, then we have our YouTube channel. That is all the details, all the explanation for different settings and different parts from the main dashboard that you see right now. So that's about the main thing that I wanted to mention today. If you guys want to go into more details, remember, Bqool, we offer the other options here in terms of the rule base. This one is what some of you may use before. This one, because this one is the one, like, for example, Gustavo was asking before, like, what are the different, for example, I want to sell maximizer, and you will see the settings are a little bit different. So that way you can have an idea how we differentiate in terms of AI and in terms of the AI and the rule base.
Okay.
So those are they are the main difference. Wait, let me go back because this is still the AI. I want to use rule base right now. So I want to show you guys what is the main difference when you choose AI or when you choose rule base. So right now we are going to focus on rule base. So for example, here, if you want to target the lowest price, these are the scenarios, and it gives you an explanation. And then once you choose, like, for example, I want to target the lowest price. As you can see in the previous one, we were targeting the buy box. For the AI, targets the buy box all the time and give you the scenarios how to target the buy box, and also it gives you the options if you want to sell more or you want to make more profit. But here is a little bit different, and I will show you why it's different and why AI is easier to set up, and it provides excellent results because if you wanna be more competitive, you wanna be more dynamic. But here also, this one provides you all the options when it comes to set up your rule. So here, for example, here you see it start giving you, like, for example, who you want to compete with, how do you want to customize your settings, and then we give you the scenarios, all the scenarios, and then you just have to choose based on your item situation. And on the top here, you can see the AI just have 4 options. This one offers you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options, 6 steps that you need to fill in the information. So for example, here, now because we choose the target, the lowest price, and how you wanna identify your competitors. Here if you don't want to compete with certain item or with certain customer or with certain competitors on Amazon, here you can choose which one you don't want to compete with. And then here is all the settings, how you want them to see you, how you want to see them, and how do you want to compete with them. If you want to exclude certain sellers or include certain sellers, or those sellers that maybe have lower rate or higher rate, or in this case, sell the time to deliver a product is too long or too short, then you want to include all those settings are here. Now, once you go to the next one, like for example, how you want to get the buy box here as well, it has all the settings. I am not going to go into details because this is it's by reading it, and then you will see that all the options are gonna be based on your situation. So for example, getting the buy box, like when the competition is between your max and your min, when the oscillates min and max, when the competition, there is no competition, when the price safety net. Remember that for AI, I told you that won't go below the min and max. Here, you can, for example, if there is price dropping, as Thiago was mentioning, like when the price drops and everything, then you can see, you can set up how much you want to drop each time. Like if a customer drop 50% at once, if you don't want the repricer to drop your price 50% at once, then you can just set it up here. And maybe every time you want to drop just 5%, 10%, you can set it up here. And then and they have the advanced settings, all these settings if you are competing with Amazon, with FBA, FBM. So all these settings here. If you are very familiar with it, it will be easier. Now, if you are not familiar with it, that's why we recommend go to the AI, because the AI, as you could see, was easy to set up. You can do it in 2 to 5 minutes and it's done. But this one, as you can see, by just explaining step by step. And now, how do you want to stay in the buy box? Here also all the settings for it. How do you want to stay there? How do you want to, once you get the buy box, how do you want the repricer to behave? And continuing with it, now you want to schedule it. Now this one is similar to the previous one. You see how you want to schedule it. And the next one is like the overview again. See if everything is okay. And at the end, you save it and finish. As you could see, it has more steps. It's more complex. It has a lot of things you need to set up there. And if you don't want things to get too complicated, because I know some of you are using a repricer to make things easier, to have more time for yourself, or your family, your friends, or your hobbies. So that's why AI comes and solves that problem. So you don't have to spend too much time fixing your prices.
So I have
yeah.
I mean, I think we get the repricers to maximize your sales, maximize your profit. And then those kind of settings, it's like a setting forget pretty much, right? We go there,
yes,
spend the time, doing the settings. And then after that, of course, you can go back there, create a new one. So my question to you is, which one brings the better results? The AI, which just do like 4 clicks and it's good to go, or the rule base, which has many more options for us to set, So I don't know. My understanding, AI, it's like artificial intelligence. It would do what we would be doing to set up the rule base. So right now I say, if the Amazon sells, do this, do that, reduce my price until I get a buy box. So the AI will do this by itself because it's an artificial intelligence, right? But for your experience, because I was impressed. To be honest, I haven't checked the rule base. I was doing the AI and the conditional repricing because the rule base, at my understanding, was just like the other repricers. You do like 3-4 clicks, but yours it's much more complex. There's many more options than any other replies that I ever seen. So, and then that's why I have this question. So, what would bring a better results? A very good setup on the rule-based strategy or the AI-powered strategy? In your opinion, what would be the best?
Yeah, based on our users, they use the AI because the AI believes it can bring the better result because it's more dynamic. Now, what could happen with the rule base is that if your settings are locking the repricer to to target or to use the best price in the market, then it's gonna slow you down. It's gonna put you in a disadvantage. So if you are not very familiar with your market, if you are not very familiar with different scenarios, then you may set up the rules in a way that instead of speeding up your sales, it's gonna make it harder, because remember, the rule is gonna apply whatever you said there.
Okay, gotcha.
So in case, and the other side with the AI, as you could see, it was very simple. Like, it's a very the scenario that provides is exactly what happens to you as Amazon seller.
Yeah.
And then, but the rule base is give you more options that the AI already include in the algorithm. So it already has it. So that's why it's more dynamic, easier to get, and that's why you saw the changes in yourself, because it knows what it's doing easily.
Okay.
So that's that's why we recommend AI. And I know, like, for some new users of the new technology is maybe thinking like AI can bring negative results, but that's not the case, because as you could see, there are safety nets. There are different settings that you are the one that chooses and decide how you want to behave in the Amazon market. Gotcha. Now, once you are very familiar with AI, and then you apply the AI and you like the results, but then you come to the situation where you say like, wait, but I am the only seller, and then I want my price to be more dynamic, or I want to get rid of my inventory a certain time. And then how do I do that? Or I want to see if I can use some of the settings from rule-based into AI, or I want to use rule-based and
what happened to Fidel? What happened to him? Vocês conseguem me escutar aí?
Você sim, Gustavo, mas ele caiu.
Isso que eu queria saber, se era eu ou se era a internet dele. Então, acho que é a internet dele.
Tá sem som.
Daí tá travado ali. Ele caiu. Deve voltar aí. Cara, esse rule base é bem complexo. Com relação, acho que eu já usei. Achei bem legal. You're back.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, for some reason I got cut off. No idea what happened there, but yeah. Okay, coming back to the, now, as I was mentioning, if you want to be more sophisticated, you want to target the situations where your inventory, or based on your inventory, or based on the sales rate, like how is your sales at the moment? How are your sales? Or based on the time that you are going to deliver the product. There's here we offer 5 options, and the 3 main options, and the next one that are advanced. So these ones are for someone that is already very familiar with the Amazon business, and also very familiar with Bqool, at least with the AI and rule base. So then you can go here. For example, what Gustavo was mentioning before, that he uses this one, right? So yeah. Inventory age. So what happens here is, like, you don't want to be going to Amazon all the time or Seller Central to check your inventory to see if tomorrow you need to sell product by tomorrow, or maybe next week you need to get rid of this product, because otherwise you're going to start paying extra cost, right? So you set up the rules here, and then in order to the repricer, once it's getting closer to that date, is going to change your prices in a way that is going to help you to get rid of those inventories, so that way you don't pay extra money to Amazon. So I am just going to go through it, like briefly explain. So for example here, so once you choose the rule, for example, I choose inventory age right now. Once you choose the rule, in the process, you will have so many scenarios, depends on the time. Like, for example, here, it gives an explanation. Every single option gives you an explanation and a picture how it's gonna work. But for example, here, you can see that the settings, it has at least different options here. You can add more, of course. You can keep adding more, but it will depend on your situation. For example, maybe your inventory is just between 60 and 90 days. Or maybe your inventory is between 181 days to 270 days. So here, you can choose the scenario. For example, I'm just going to play one. For example, you want to use your inventory that is too old, for example, more than 60 days, you want to get rid of it, right? So then in this case, you choose, like, for example, rule plus mean price. So what does it mean? That you are going to choose the compete or go or use your mean price and choose the rule. Which rule do you want? You want from the, you see here, these are the AI rules. Now, if all the rules that you created are going to be here. For example, do you remember that I create Gustavo, all those previously? They are going to be here. Let's pretend that you create a rule for an AI rule for those moments that that you reach 35 days, so that you can apply it here. And then you see here is combining the ones that we had previously plus the ones that this new setting. So that's the idea here with the with this rule. And here you can add conditions. For example, if you have a situation where your inventory is to a certain date and then but it's still selling, like let's pretend I sell smartphones, and then I bought 50 smartphones, and then I have already 40 days in the market, and then you are like, wait, I need to get rid of it, but they are still selling one every day, so it's still selling, right? So here you can add the condition. For example, if you say, okay, sell everything at max sales maximizer, but for those items that are selling every day at least one, I don't want that to happen. So then is when you add the condition here.
Wow.
So for example, you can say, if in the last 7 days I sold myself were more than 3, for example, for this item, please don't use the rule above. That's basically how it works. And then the repricer is gonna target from up to bottom. So it's gonna start from here, going all the way. If this rule doesn't apply, it goes to the next one, the next one, the next one, and keep going all the way down. And at the end, if, for example, your listing, you have 200 listings, and out of 200 listings, 500, let's say 50 apply for the first option, 10 for the next, 20 for the next, 100 for the next. But at the end, there are 20 listings that any of the rules or the settings here apply. Then you can choose here, the last one. That's why all those that didn't fit in any of these settings, they go to the last one. And then here you can choose, for example, you can see, okay, I'm gonna use rule, AI equalizer, or which rule do you want to use here? So here you can see rule plus mean, your price, you can configure it here. As you could see, this one provides you all the scenarios and different times, because we are talking about inventory, right? We chose inventory. When I get rid of our stock that we have on Amazon, that's why it's giving you all the cases. And here is give, like, for example, here you see 7 days, but there are more options. Here, once you click here, then you will see that we have around 16 options to choose from. So that's why I was mentioning it before. You need to be, this one is more complex, but also bring excellent results. But it's all about how you set up the settings here. As you can see here, it gives you 16 options. For example, right now we were talking about units sold. We can use units sold, percentage, sales, available quantity, all the buy box win, all different scenarios. Which one do you want to choose? In this case, because remember that previously we choose inventory edge, I believe you are going to look for something that is related to inventory, right? So those are the options that we are going to offer here, based on the time, based on the inventory, and based on your specific case. So here you choose the one that you consider or you want to work with, and here you will start configuring. For example, you say units sold in the last 7 days, greater than, less than, equal, or greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So those are very personal choices. So you can put a number here. For example, if I choose this one, if in the last 7 I sold more than 3, for example. So in this case, what does it mean? That this rule won't apply if for this listing I sold 3 in the last 7 days, so it won't apply. So, and then you can keep adding conditions. We don't recommend to add too many conditions because they may be contradictory. If you don't set it up well, it may contradict the previous one, and that way can create that the rule. Don't use it. Don't use this setting and move to the next one. So that's why we recommend to use maybe just one, because one it will be the most essential one. But this is how the conditional repricer works. Combines all, and you can see just 3 options: choose the rule, conditions, and all the conditions are here with all the options. So that will be all the explanation that all the information that I wanted to share with you guys today. If you guys have any questions, or right now you can go ahead and ask questions, or anything that you would like to add about Bqool, our repricer, our pricing, and all the difference. It's up to you guys. If you have any questions, please go ahead.
I have a question. Go back on the listings page, please.
Okay, and just give me a second because I'm using a test account, so it's a bit slow. Okay.
So if you go to bulk actions, where it says enable small, mark as small and light, mark as small and light. No, all the way down. So what does the system do if I select all the items and say mark as small and light? Why?
So here, remember, like lately, Amazon have this other option of the small products and light ones. So here it comes to when you are setting on Amazon, you classify those products. So here we are selecting, like for example, let's pretend that I just wanna make it here. Like for example, I think or I know that this is a small product and light, right? These 2, for example, and then I go bulk actions, and then I will mark it as small and light.
Okay.
That's why I define this product by that. That's what.
It's more for like a filter later on. If I want to filter, if I go to the left side, to the left menu, and I want to filter only small and light items, that's gonna be it. That's the only thing that the system will do, right? It's not that it's gonna convert my item to small and light automatically, or would change the fees to small and light, nothing like that, right?
Yeah. Okay. For example, here I chose.
No, go ahead. No, I see some repricers that they don't communicate well when you have small and light items. I sell a lot of small and light items, and I know a lot of people here also do. And then, so I see lots of repricers that when you have a small and light, it does not pick the fees, the small and light fees, and doesn't reprice correctly. So that's why I was wondering, what does this mean?
Yeah, now that you mentioned, yeah, we had the problem previously, and that's why you see now it's a new, because they are the new feature that came a few months ago based on the demand from our customer, because they will get the same complaint, like, hey, wait, I'm having this issue. So that's why these new features came into Bqool. And that's one thing about Bqool, like as I told you guys before, the idea is to collect data and adapt ourselves to the market. That's why we have this one, and they have the icon new. Right now, if you want to classify all these products, then here will be the left side of my screen, you will see that there are different filters. If you want to group your products, you can group it here. Maybe you want to group all the small and light. You don't want to be seeing them here. You want to see it from here. You can classify them by group, and then you can create your filters as well. Like you want to, for example, here, you can see like filters. Those filters, there are different filters we have here because we use these test accounts. But in your own account, you will be able to group it. You will be able to filter them, and that way you can classify them on Bqool.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other question?
Not for me. If you guys have any questions, that's the time, man. No question?
I just want to ask a quick question about the when you sync Bqool to, for example, many of us here that are listening, they use also inventory labs. So probably the only feature that when you sync both is that you like inventory labs can grab the buy cost. You can input, like they can I think it's from inventory labs. You can when you make a shipment, it can, when it syncs, it can transfer the buy costs directly to Bqool, so you don't have to place the manually on every listing. I don't know if you're I mean,
Yeah, I think well, that's how we do. They have synchronized with inventory lab, right?
yeah.
Yes, we are. Yeah, we are synchronized with inventory lab. That's what I was gonna say. That we work with them, so the data from inventory lab is synchronized with Bqool.
I think not only the cost, but if you put the minimum and max on inventory lab, that will transfer to Bqool as well.
Does it?
Only cost.
Only cost. The
Only cost,
Only
yeah.
cost. Only cost. Yeah. Because remember, the idea is that if you synchronize the cost and everything, all the min and max, the settings from all these, especially, for example, settings on Amazon, settings on inventory lab, and settings on Bqool may differ. So if that's why we make sure that once you come to Bqool, you start setting up the max and min, then you follow, because we follow Amazon as the main the main target, right? So that way our repricer will ask you to set out the min and max. In this case, a smaller, like for example, I want, like, let's pretend that your main price on Amazon is $10. Okay, in Seller Central. So Bqool cannot be lower than $10. It has to be between the min and max of Seller Central. For example, if you have minimum on Amazon $10, in Bqool should be higher than $10. Could be $11, $12, so a little bit higher, right? Now, if your max on Seller Central is $30, the max on Bqool should be lower than $30, like $29, $28. So that way, there is no issue, or there is no this problem between Amazon and Seller Central, and Bqool. So that's like a safety net for you guys to make sure that if you make a typo on the min and max, there is always a way to make sure that it doesn't go and start selling without fixing it.
All right. Any more questions? All right, Fidel, thank you so much. Really appreciate again your time. Answer a lot of questions, and even like, I mean, I became more excited about Bqool now. Also, I saw you explaining all the features and everything, so I can't wait to just go there and start messing up my strategy again, you know.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
No, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time and checking it out. Don't forget that if you guys want to know more about the details about Bqool, you can contact Gustavo, or you can see our channel, YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram. Everything is there. All the trainings are there. But the thing is that in English, now if you want a more sophisticated or more localized, in this case, Portuguese, in this case, you can go to Gustavo. And for those one that speak Spanish, if there is anyone, just in the next 1 or 2 months, this platform is gonna be in Spanish. So hopefully the next step will be Portuguese. So that way we make things easier for everyone that doesn't speak English, or at least don't feel comfortable using English for all these setups.
Great. So yeah, I'm gonna leave your YouTube channel. I also mentioned that I had an interview with them like 2 weeks ago, so soon gonna be on the YouTube channel as well. And they have lots of content on the YouTube as well. It's not only about the repricer, right? But it's about Amazon business. They interview lots of sellers. So it's a great YouTube channel. And I mean, before we start the call, I think you guys just post a new YouTube video about a seller too. So I'm gonna watch that later on tonight. So again, Fidel, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate. I know you're starting the day now. We are finishing our day here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll let you go. I'm going to speak a little bit more with them, and also I'm going to finish the stream on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, see you later.
Okay, guys. Thank you. See you next time.
Thank you. See ya. Bye bye.